What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So I gave you guys 5 different plays yesterday. 3 of them were batter props. One of them did not hit, and then the other 2 plays did hit. So it was a 4-in-1 day on the free picks yesterday. If you've been snoozing on this, I gave you guys 8 winners, 1 loser in the last 2 days. Plus, if you check out my channel, you'll see how many free picks I've been giving out. Don't snooze on this. Go to the link in the description where it says free picks. Stay tuned to this video. I'm going to walk through 3 different games. If we can't find one of these plays, I'll just give you one that I already have. There's a lot of contradictions right now. The line's not moving yet. It's too early in the day. There's not a lot of stuff happening, so I really can't see exactly what I'm going to go with just yet. So again, I'm going to go through 3 different games that are popping up. Stay tuned to this video. If for whatever reason I cannot find a play in those 3 games, I'm going to give you guys one play that I already have for the VIP. I'm going to give it to you guys. So stay tuned in this video. I'll give you at least one solid play. Again, yesterday, guys, was a 4-in-1 on the free picks. In the last 2 days, it's a 8-in-1, literally 1 loser, which was Suzuki from the Cubs to get a hit. He did not get a hit. So that's the only loser that happened yesterday for the free picks. This was the main one that I talked about, which was the under on the Rangers game. You can see the Los Angeles Angels scored 7 runs. Texas scored 0. So that was a win. Then I told you guys go with Sadine Rafaela. I told you guys we'll go with Sal Stewart to get 1 hit. I also explained in detail the under no run first inning for that same game, which was this game here. So all 4 of these came through, and the only one that did not was Suzuki from the Cubs. So 4-in-1 day yesterday on the free picks. In the VIP, we did have another loser, which was the Cubs. That came through very late in the game. There was a line movement that I liked. So I took the Mariners and I took the Cubs. The Mariners did come through, the Cubs did not. I also had one of these plays over here, which is no run first inning under 1.5 as a parlay piece. So 6-2 yesterday in the VIP. So overall in the VIP, we're on a 7-day hot streak. So this is massive, guys. In the last 7 days, we have not had a losing day. So 7 straight winning days. Let's make it 8. All right, guys, one of the first things that I like to look at nowadays is the biggest pitching mismatches. And this is ranked by strikeouts versus based on balls percentage. Right here, you can see Garrett Cole. He's got one of the better ones over here. He's going against Bieber. This guy fell off. He used to be very good, but now he's falling off. And the gap is pretty big right there, 16.7 strikeout versus walk rate. So the second biggest gap is Cleveland Guardians. They did come up as a lean. I'm not liking that game, but they do have a mismatch on the pitching edge. Same thing with the Reds. They came up as a lean, but I don't like this, and it's a very slight edge over Alcantara. Alcantara is actually very decent as well. If you wanted to look at this game at all, which was Miami and Cincinnati, you might want to consider the under in the first 5 innings. I'm not touching that, but you might want to take a look at it. All right, once we know we have the pitching mismatches over here, I like to take a look at what's called the best and worst teams. This page right here is free. It's the 3rd link in the description. All you got to do is click on that link and then you just bookmark it, and you can refresh it every morning and you'll be able to see this. What this is it's telling you the best performing teams in the last 14 days. So the Rays have been red hot. The Padres have been very good. Braves are number 3. Tigers are number 4. Cubs are number 5. I'm not going to get into all these details. I'm not going to break this down, but it gives you all the information that you need to know for the batting on why they're so good right now. So like for the pitching stuff, for the batting stuff, for the bullpen and things like that. Now for the worst teams, Athletics have been number 1 for about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks now. They just completely suck. They're completely tanking right now. They're only winning 16% of their games. Guardians are second worst. That's one of the other reasons I stayed away from them today. Royals is 3rd worst. Giants are pretty bad. And then the Pirates did come up as a lean today. The line movement is with the Pirates, but I'm not touching that game. Now, the biggest thing on this page that's very, very important is that it looks at the notable matchups, okay? On the notable matchups, the reason this is so important is literally giving you the best teams versus the worst teams today, okay? So Boston Red Sox was number 1 for a while. Now they fell off. They're number 7. They're going against the Pirates, which is number 26. So that is a mismatch just in the stats, okay? So you still have to do your research overall, but this gives you where to look. So again, Boston Red Sox versus the Pirates, it's a mismatch of 19 ranking points. Padres is number 2. Guardians is number 27. So Padres might be one of the ones that you want to definitely take a look at for the day. Mariners number 24. Astros number 9. Again, Yesterday, I actually liked Mariners. Everything was showing up for the Mariners. I skipped it because of this reason that you're looking at right here, because Astros is number 9 and Mariners number 24. There were some few other things that I didn't like, but then towards closer to game time, the line moved so dramatic that I had to take the Mariners, and that's the reason we ended up hitting with that. Now, one quick note, once we know which teams are supposed to be winning and the line movement and stuff like that, we take a deeper dive into the MLB convergence screen. If you don't have access to this page, is the Sharp Edge. Go to the link in the description. You get 7 days for free. From here, it gives you a full breakdown of 6 different data sets, and it tells you, like, for example, we're looking at the Pirates. You can see the line did move, but the win probability is on Boston. Expert Insights is on Boston. The projected lines is on Boston. So automatically, I'm thinking, no, I'm not touching the Pirates. Obviously, you want to do your own research. There's other data sets you want to look at. It's not a win-lose position here or a take or don't take position, but it gives you a clear breakdown of what's going on in this game. Blue Jays, you can see the line did move in their favor. It's actually dropping again. So this is a little bit stale from earlier today. And then Yankees is actually, everything is pointing towards the Yankees. So that's one of the games I'm going to look at actually. It's going to be the Yankees, and I'll show you why. Dodgers is the other one I'm looking at. You can see 12-cent line move, win probability, OPS, and projected runs. And the White Sox is the last one I'm looking at. You can see it's already contradictions over here. However, the Detroit Tigers have been losing a lot of games right now. So I'm going to take a look at the White Sox. I'm going to take a look at the Dodgers, and I'm going to take a look at the Yankees. First one let's take a look at, guys, is going to be the Yankees. Right here, it is juiced at a 140-42. They got Garrett Cole. I already showed you the mismatch from the pitching staff. So you can see the pitching edge is overwhelming with Cole. And then the bullpen edge, it gives you a breakdown. If you want to take screenshots of this, you can read all of this. I'm not going to read it all. It's actually kind of zoomed in a little bit, so let me zoom out. And you can see the solid but volatile 6-7 innings, weaker strikeout depth. This is the bullpen. This is the starting pitching. This is the final leans, which you should be looking at the over. I'm not touching this over because, like I showed you, they got decent pitching. I'm not touching this over because they have decent pitching overall, and this is what I was talking about with the line move going in the wrong direction. So I might just skip this and see if I can catch it live. The way I would catch this live is if Toronto is winning the game, and then I'm able to get great odds on the Yankees. Otherwise, I'm not touching this. But you can see the line did shift from a 150 to a 141. And what's crazier is that the percentage of the bets is 75%, 81% of the money, yet the line is dropping. Now, the reason this sucks is because 75% of the bets and 81% of the money is huge. So why is the line shifting away from them? Okay, that's the reason that you have to kind of look at that and say, wait a minute. The sharp money is actually on Toronto. So I'm not going to keep going here. Everything else kind of does point towards the Yankees, as I showed you. Everything kind of does point there except the line movement, the bullpen, the batting, the starting pitching, everything, the stats, everything like that, the bullpen, everything like that. Everything is kind of pointing towards the Yankees. You can see right here the expert insights, the how many runs they're supposed to get, the starting pitchers, the bullpen, the batting analysis, the pitching analysis, the team records. Everything is pointing towards the Yankees. The only thing that's keeping me away is this line movement right here. So if you want to take the Yankees, you either want to take them on the money line and parlay it with something, or you wait for it to be live, which that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for it to go live, and hopefully they start losing the game, and then I can take them. Now let's take a look at the White Sox as underdogs. So we would be taking this at a +1 or a +1.5. You can see right there, it does tell you take the money line. Overall, that's the verdict if you want to read that. Right here is telling you Newcomb. Right here is telling you Newcomb 2.66 ERA versus Job with only 5 innings started, so you can't trust that at all. The bullpen is very similar to both. The line is shifting in the favor of the White Sox very slightly, 4 points. Whenever it's going from a positive to a less positive, it's actually going in their favor, just like I showed you against the Yankees. Same thing here. And the crazy part is this is actually a reverse line move. What this means is you can see 73% of the bets, 74% of the money is coming in on Detroit, yet the line is shifting towards the White Sox. So this is considered a classic reverse line move when the public is on one side and the line is shifting the other way. That's the opposite of what I just showed you on the Yankees. So the line is shifting opposite in the Yankees' favor in this game for the White Sox is going in the White Sox favor. So that is a sharp signal. One thing here does say Expert Insights is 75% towards the Tigers whenever they start as a favorite, which they are today. The line projections do show Tigers should be getting at least one more run over the White Sox. Very similar ERA, very similar FIP, so that's not convincing me at all. Bullpen is very similar. Now, another thing that sucks, which is actually going to keep me away from this game, is that the Tigers are been red hot right now, 9-3 in the last 12 games. So I'm not touching this game, actually. The White Sox did come up as a reverse line move, but I'm not touching it just based on everything I just saw. Now, very important, guys. Sometimes people always message me and say, hey, what do you have for today? And I'm like, dude, there's nothing. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What do you have? Like, I need something. Whenever you feel that you need to throw out a bet, then there's a problem. I sometimes show you like there's nothing on the board. If you go through my live yesterday, I went through in detail why I'm skipping each game. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm not going to waste your time. But just know that I do my research. And if I'm not throwing it out there, it's for a reason. And you should skip as well. If you see something that doesn't make sense, just leave it alone. Even if you only get 1 or 2 plays per day, that's fine. You don't have to force anything. All right, let's continue. I'm going to look at the Dodgers. And again, like I said, I do like the Yankees, but I'm going to wait to see what happens whenever they go live. And I'm going to look at the Dodgers, and we'll see what happens there. If the Dodgers doesn't make sense either, I'm going to give you the other play that I have already. Now, before I continue, guys, let me just talk about this very quickly. The reason I'm able to do so much every day now is because I don't spend 4 hours of research anymore. Everything is kind of shown to me, and then I figure out if I should go with it or not. So, for example, there's, I don't know how many games, over 10 games today, and I only literally looked at 3. And the reason I only looked at 3 is because of this tool right here. So it tells me these are this is the games that you should be looking at. And you can get this tool as well. It's called the Sharp Edge Verdict. Okay, so inside the Sharp Edge Verdict, you're going to get the Sharp Edge plus the VIP package, which shows a breakdown of all the plays. So 90% of the plays that come from my VIP picks that I throw out there are actually on this page. So you can see Sharp Plays Verdict, and it's blurred out for a reason. Okay, this is a privacy thing for the VIP members that are paying. But obviously, when you pay, this is going to get unblurred. So right here is the Sharp Plays Verdict, the one hitters for the batters, the convergence screen, the best verdict of those pages that I just showed you with the games, the spreads verdict, the line movement snapshot, and then the expert consensus. Now, on the expert consensus, you can kind of take a look at that and do your own research from there. Obviously, you want to do your own research at all times. But if you were looking at this page right here, you can just see all this is already filtered out for you. And then you can just kind of take advantage of that and then do your research from this page. That's kind of what I do. 90% of my bets come from this page. Now I'm going to show you again, like I said, I'm going to show you the Dodgers game. But if you want access to that verdict page, there's 18 more slots available. Normally the price is $75. But if you get in the founding member, the next 18 members that get in, you get 35% off, and that price is locked in as long as you're a member. Or you can do the 1-year pass. Normally that's $600. But if you do this with the early adapters, you get it for $450 a year. So for the whole year, you can do it for $450, and that brings the price down to $37.50 a month. So if you want access to this tool, go to the link in the pinned comments. Okay. If you want the Sharp Edge alone, you get 7 days for free without the VIP package. Now, one of the things that was pointing towards the Pirates is this line move. Just like I showed you, it's actually moving 19 cents. The White Sox is moving 8 cents. And then the Dodgers is actually moving against them at this point. The Sharp Plays does say to take a look at the over for the Yankees and the Yankees money line. I already explained the Yankees money line, but that is one of the strong plays with a 7.5 confidence. And the over on that same game is a 9 confidence. All right, let's take a look at the Dodgers now. So it does say that the starter is clearly superior. The bullpen is a little bit depleted with depleted, I should say, 4.5 compared to a 3.2. The line is still shifting in their favor, even though they're heavily favored. You can see it's a 174, and it went over to a 186. 81% of the money, 77% of the handle is coming in on the Dodgers. So I don't like to see that because the sharps are actually in alignment with the public, which I don't like to see. Now you can see the market is pricing the Dodgers 1 full run higher than the Milwaukee Brewers. It also is telling you to take a look at the lean on the under. I'm not touching that under. I'm actually liking the over, and I bought it back a few points. I threw that out in the free picks earlier. If you want to take that, you have to parlay it because it is very expensive. So check your email, check your text if you're signed up for the free picks. I threw that out there this morning. The Dodgers do have on the mound Yamamoto, which is their ace pitcher right now. 3.41 FIP, 2.65 ERA. He is an ace grade pitcher. The bullpen is a little bit more decent over to the Milwaukee. Dodgers have been struggling. They've been giving a lot more runs as far as the bullpen goes. Dodgers do outrank the Milwaukee and a little bit on the OPS, and it's a dead even on the categories. And on the stats, it's a dead even. Okay, so I do like the Dodgers. It is very expensive. So again, the way I'm going to play this is when the Dodgers start, hopefully that they start losing the game, I'll be able to take the Dodgers live. So that is going to be the two plays, guys. I'm going to take the Yankees and I'm going to take the Dodgers. However, I'm going to wait for them to start the game and I'm going to take these live. If you don't want to wait for them to start, you could either do a parlay with a +1.5 on the Dodgers and a +1.5 on the Yankees. Only take the one that I just mentioned with the +1.5s if you trust what I just showed you. Otherwise, skip it and wait to see if they're going to be live and we're going to be able to get value. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. I've given you 8 free winners, 1 loser in the last 2 days. If you check my channel, you'll see how many winners I've been giving out. You can literally go scroll over and over and over and see all the comments of all the people that are very happy with the free picks. If you want all the picks and you can see how much we've been hitting with that week, it's already been almost 30 units gained in the VIP. So VIP is on fire. Make sure you take advantage of that. Also, check out the Sharp Edge VIP, which is going to give you the access to the verdict. That's where 90% of my bets come from. So make sure you check out the pinned comment for that. Thank you guys so much, man. Let's have a great day. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you.